Hello friends, welcome to my channel PC Duo Kimberlite. Today we are going to see an important topic from FI BSc Practical, identification of megascopic metamorphic rocks. Identification of megascopic metamorphic rocks. And Dr. Sajid Ondekar, Associate Professor and Head Department of Geology, AKI, Pune College, Arts, Commerce, Science, Camp, Pune, Maharashtra, India. Yes, let's start today's practical how to identify the megascopic metamorphic rocks. First, we'll see the basic background. What is meant by a metamorphic rock? Initially, we have seen igneous as well as sedimentary rock. Just will have this so that you can get the idea. So your knowledge will be refreshed. So what is a rock? Rock is an aggregate of mineral. It is a admixture. It is a mixture of mineral together. Rock is a mixture of mineral together or admixture or aggregates of mineral. Crystals are present. Now these rocks, based on their origin, we have divided into three categories: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary rocks are those rocks which are crystallized from molten magma. Whatever the magma which is molten at a greater depth due to high pressure temperature condition. And these magma slowly cool down, whether on the surface or below the surface. And first minerals are crystallized, crystals have been crystallized, or minerals are crystallized. And these minerals come together and forming a solid. No interspace will be present between the crystal. Crystals are closely packed. That will be there. So that is the igneous rock. Might be 100% crystal may be there, might be 70%, might be 50% crystal, and there may be the remaining will be the glass, or sometime 100% glass also we are going to get natural glass. That is what we have, the obsidian or piston. These are the basic examples for we have for this glass, whatever they have there, no crystals have been formed. So 100% crystals or 100% glass or 70% crystals or 50-50. So that we have seen the video, those video which are there, they are there on my YouTube now. When you're going to see, that is there. So you can study them or watch them so you can get your knowledge about the rocks of metamorphic igneous one. It will be refreshed. The second one rock is that these igneous rocks or pre-existing rock, whichever the rock is there, it is exposed to the atmosphere. Then geological agents will act on that particular rock, and due to that, first mechanical weathering has taken place, then the chemical weathering, then erosion. Yes, that will be the transportation has taken place. Erosion will be taken place. So this erosion in cycles. If once in season one erosion has taken place, in next again there will be next erosion. So these erosions have been taken place in cycle. Then that will be called as a denudation. So erosion, denudation, transportation from one place to another. So what are the conditions and all that? That how it will be going to control? That will be there in theory. We are going to see that. So if you see that particular topic, how the sedimentary rock has been formed, that will be there. But I'm going to make out here a short so that there will be a process of weathering, erosion, that is a process of weathering, in that mechanical as well as chemical weathering. Then there will be erosion, denudation, transportation, and after the transportation, there will be deposition. And after the deposition, there is a compaction. And due to this, what we have, the whatever the original minerals which are present in that, whichever the igneous rock is there, in that it has been broken down. The pieces have been broken down. So once mineral has been broken down into two pieces, we don't call it as a mineral. We call it as a sediment or particle. So once these material has been cemented with the whatever the cementing material is there, whether it is aluminous material is there, siliceous is there, calcareous is there, ferruginous, whichever the material, because depending upon from which part, which is the area which are there in that area, and where this is the source is there from where the material has been bringing out. So depending upon that composition, we are going to get the cementing material as well as the coarse sediments or particle which are there. Now once these sediments have been cemented together with the cementing material, then that particular rock is called as sedimentary rock, or it is called as secondary rock. So these are the processes which have been taking place: weathering, that is mechanical and chemical. Then there will be erosion, denudation, transportation, deposition, and compaction. Once these are there, then we are going to get a secondary rock. And this secondary rock contains sediment. So these the secondary rocks are being called as are called as a sedimentary rock. Now the third type, when the igneous rock and sedimentary rock are subsided and due to heat, pressure, and chemical active fluid, these three important things, heat, pressure, and chemical active fluid, these three things act together, molecule by molecule, these rocks are melt and recrystallize. There is a recrystallization by molecule. Then whatever the composition of the pre-existing rock is there, it is remain same. Once only thing is that there is a recrystallization. So example, here we have a granite is there. Yes. So here we are going to get the gneiss. Here we have the sandstone. Here we get the quartzite. Here we have limestone. Here we get the marble. Limestone is white color marble. Here it is red color limestone. Then we have the pink color marble. So depending upon what particular composition is there, but chemical composition will remain same. Only thing is internal, the whatever the crystal, here we have crystal, here we have the sediments, fine chemically deposition has taken place, and that is the limestone is there. So that is going to form. So metamorphism, meta means new, morphism means phase, a new phase of rock will be there, whether it may be igneous or it may be sedimentary. These two rocks, due to this process, they are being going to transform into new phase of rock. Then this is called as metamorphism. In that, whatever the rock earlier, which are going to show you the texture structures, now here the properties which are there, they have been different properties. Now whatever the pre-existing rock which are there, these rocks are called as protoliths, and these protoliths are melt together, going to form a magma, that is solid state change has taken place, and due to this heat, pressure, and chemical active fluid, molecule by molecule, these rocks are crystallized. So in this, the basic simple rock is that is the first rock which has been crystallized in metamorphism is the slate. Whatever the slate is there, what we are going to make out, it is a very fine argillaceous material is there. Whatever the textures which are there, you can might be you are going to see or not, I don't know, but this is a very fine one showing you what we are going to get. The slate is the rock which showing you the rough cleavage, slaty cleavage is there. That is the metamorphic rock. But now, what is the source one? The source will be a shell or mudstone. These are siltstone. These are the three are the source for getting the metamorphism. Now, what is happening here? The shell rocks has been created a directed pressure, acting by a directed pressure. So force will be in only one direction, and this particular type of metamorphism is taken place on the surface or just below the surface, where the pressure is only a directed pressure. This is only acting. So whatever we have, the pressure is there, that is broadly divided into a directed pressure or uniform pressure. So in this case, directed pressure is high, then the uniform pressure is low, and heat is also low. So here only a directed pressure is act together, and whatever the shell contain the flaky mineral, needle mineral, whatever the minerals are there, they adjust themselves and try to become a rough cleavage to the rock. They are arranged roughly parallel together. When they are turning together, because it is solid compact one, now it is turning, there is breakdown has taken place, silicization, that is a recrystallization also take place, and the shell will be converted into the slate, and this slate will have a rough cleavage, and that is called as a cleavage will be there. That cleavage will be called as a slaty cleavage. This is the what we have. Say comment which is there. The excellent rock cleavage, smooth, dull surface. So that is there. So that is the shell converted into the slate. Next one, there will be schistose, the schist rock. Now in this, what is happening? Grain size will be medium to coarse. Now what is a schist? There the flaky minerals or needle minerals arranged parallel together, and a set of cleavage will be there, along which if you hammer it out, it will be along this schistosity, the rock can be broken easily. So then in that the particular one we have going to study the mica schist. on-blade cysts. These are the best ones which are there in the FR. We are going to see micaceous mineral dominate the scaly foliation. Shell, mudstone, these are there, and which we are going to make out these particular cyst rock. After this, the whatever the director pressure will be low. Now here we'll have the uniform pressure will act together, and due to this we are going to get the cystos. Then the nysos, that is the alternate band will be there. Alternate band of one will be needle middle, and there is a patch of rounded middle which are white color. Needle middles are black color. Or foliated middle, the black color will be there, dark color, and rounded middle, dark round, down. So alternate, there will be a layer will be going to form. So you can see here the dark layering is there, yes, and then in between we have the rounded or the irregular crystal will be there. So more or less rounded, that will be the cords or plagioclase will be there, and this will be going to form as a nyso structure. So earlier one we have seen the cystos, all needle or flaky middle are parallel together, that is the cystos. But in this nyso there is alternate rounded grain or patch will be there, then the needle middle, black color middle patch, and these are the alternate patch. Now what will be the source for this? The shell, granite of volcanic rocks. They are gone under the metamorphism. High grade metamorphism is going to take place, and due to that heat pressure will be very high, and these particular granite gneiss is going to form. So that will be the things which are going to make out, and the medium to coarse grain will be there. Next one is a marble. Yes, very interesting one. Marble. So marble will be the whatever the source is there, that is the limestone. Limestone CaCO3, but Ca is replaced by MgCO3. That is become the dolomite or dolomitization. Limestone and dolomite, these are the source rock to form the marble. And here in this marble you can see a saccharoidal crystal will be there, like what we have the sugar grain, like a structure will be there, and each grain will going to share its boundary with the other one. Then the saccharoidal we have macular structure, granular structure. Granular means each one grain has its own boundary. Maculose, when there is a sharing is there, and very coarse prominent you can see in the hand specimen, that is a saccharoidal one is there. So the next one is quartzite. What is a quartzite? That is whatever we have the sandstone. The sandstone is a raw material. This rock has gone under metamorphism. We are going to get the quartzite. So that is there. Here also we have coarse grain, granular structure, and these are the different. That is simply the classification of rock we have been seeing. Here again the definition is there. That is metamorphism is change of form. That is one phase to another. There is a transformation of a primary rock or secondary rock into tertiary, new phase of a rock due to heat, pressure, and chemical active fluid. How much is there? I can see now. The original rock which has been subjected temperature will be 150 to 200 degree, and pressure will be 100 megapascals pascals will be there. That is 1000 bar, or profound physical and chemical change. So the protoliths are maybe sedimentary or igneous rock. The earth crust which is there, the large part will be having there, the 12% will be covered by the metamorphic. Majority on the surface we are going to have the sedimentary rock, because whatever igneous and metamorphic rock is there, it is converted, because the oldest rock which is there on the from there to the present. Yes, so 1 million means 10 lakh. Now if we have making the billions of years has been gone, so most of the rock which are there on the exposed, they have been gone under the secondary process, that is weathering, erosion, transportation, denudation, so deposition, so they are converted. So the transformation is complete, evolution is continuously taking place. So here whatever we are going to see, the textures, chemical composition, mineral assemblages are totally different as compared to what we have the igneous one. So if you see the characters of igneous rock is solid. That is first. Here also metamorphic rock is also solid. So because these two are the contain the crystal, because sedimentary rock is don't have the any crystals of mineral. So both igneous and metamorphic, they are the contain minerals of crystal. In igneous rock there are interspaces. No interspace is present. Here in the metamorphic also there is no gap in between. Next one. Third category, in igneous rock, there are the two types of rock, two types of minerals are there. One is called as essential mineral, second one is called as accessory mineral. Essential minerals are those are taken into the consideration when you're going to identify or classify. For example, if you want to classify my family, identify my family, then what we are going to make out? My grandfathers, grandfather, grandmother, my father, me, my wife, my child. These will be my family. Yes. But now in this, there is the accessory is there. Those child who is less than 1 year, say 1 month, 2 months, we could not take into the account when we are going to classify the group as a family. So they are there, but now their importance will not there when you are going to make the identification. So in the identification, we are going to see those minerals whose percentage is important, whether 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, 30%, their percentage is there. And if you not count them, when you're going to identify the rock and classify, then that will be there. So essential and accessory minerals, maybe there will be 8, more than 4, 5, 10, 12 sometimes in igneous rocks are there. Similar one in metamorphic rock, there may be one, there may be two are the essential mineral. No accessory mineral is there. So one or two minerals are prominent one. And the name of this igneous rock, metamorphic rock, is based on the whichever the mineral is dominating. For example, mica, garnet, schist. So mica is more dominating over there. Then the next mineral is garnet. And what is the structure? Is the schistose. So first we'll try to recognize what is the structure of the metamorphic rock. Then we'll see which minerals are dominating. Then whichever the more dominating one we'll take first. Then the second one, mica, garnet, schist, mica, staurolite, schist. So like this we are going to have the various names have been given to the metamorphic rock. But in the igneous rock there are 3 or 4 essential minerals are there, and minor are more than that, which we are not going to count them. So this is what we are going to have. This is what we have a process: gneiss, schist, marble, schistose, gneiss, quartzite. That already we have done. Yes, you can see the examples what we have been have. The granite, it has gone under high pressure, then the gneiss structure. Clay and shell, high pressure, schistose. Then sandstone, if you give the heat, then quartzite. Clay, shell, if you give the heat, slate is going to form. Still heat is there, then the phyllite. Coal, heat, anthracite, graphite is going to form. Limestone, heat, marble. These are the some examples are there which will be there. So this is again another graph is there. One side I have given you the pressure on y-axis. A pressure is taken from the top. If you go down, high pressure, go on increasing. From the top of the left hand side, here we have the low temperature. As you go towards the right hand side, on x-axis, there is a high pressure. High temperature is there, and pressure from this side low if we go high. So now I can see both low slate is there, then the marble, then the schistose. Below that we have the high temperature, then we have serpentine, quartzite, and the gneissos. So gneissos will be where we have pressure temperature condition high, so that will become the dermathermal metamorphism. Yes, we'll see now those rock which you're going to study in. Each department has its own samples, but they have to take the sample from all levels so that students can get whichever the available in the department is there, that we are there. In our department, whichever we have the available is there, and they are going to represent each particular type of metamorphism we have taken, and we are try to see now how you're going to identify them. The first one, slate. This is what we have, the rock slate is there. Slaty cleavage, if you see where it is rough, along which you are going to get the cleavages, you can see very clear. Now it is made up of finely divided micaceous mineral. We could not see the mineral in with the own eye, but we can assume now that there will be the micaceous. Why we are going to get the cleavage? Because the mica mineral is there. All minerals are flattened, elongated in the plane of cleavage. Mineral present in the rock are very fine grain. Affinity we could not see with your own eyes. That is there. And what we are going to write? The type, the classification. The rock is the product of cataclastic. That is a direct pressure on the surface or from the argillaceous rock. That is slate. mudstone, siltstone. These are there where the first simple low grade metamorphic rock, that is slate, we are going to get, and this is slate gray color is there. The next one we have mica or biotite gneiss. Yes, mica or biotite, because in that it is a biotite is from mica family. Somewhere it is written mica gneiss, but there the biotite is more dominating, so we are written biotite gneiss. Structure is an isos. Yes, we have seen the structure what we are there. Structure is an isos. What is an isos? Alternate bands of dark and white. Yes, mineral composition, there is a two mineral. One is a white one and second one is black one. So black one is the biotite. How you are going to recognize the biotite? Because it is a flaky one showing you pearly luster, black color. Yes, it is there. Then it is the red. Otherwise, if it is a light color, then it is a muscovite. So biotite is there. Then the white color, quartzo feldspathic. How you have identified quartzo feldspathic? That is a plagioclase is there. That plagioclase showing you vitreous luster. Second, it shows the cleavage. Yes, these are the simple properties are there which we are going to identify in that particular rock, and you have to find out these things. Medium to high grade regional metamorphism. That is the thermal metamorphism. Regional means a thermal metamorphism where the heat will be playing a dominant role and it is taken place for a larger area. Then it is called as regional area. If it is restricted for a smaller area, it is called as local metamorphism, or simply we call it as the thermal metamorphism. But now it has taken place, a large area is going to cover, so it is called as the regional metamorphism of quartzo feldspathic. So from we are going to see this one, the source rock might be contain quartz and feldspar mineral. So quartzo feldspathic rock has gone under metamorphism of high grade regional metamorphism. Then we are going to get, that is the medium to high grade regional metamorphism, that is mica garnet gneiss. Next one, hornblende gneiss. Similar one, you can see now difference. Where we have the mica gneiss, in that we are going to white color more. Now here the dark color is more. Hornblende is needle one, flaky one, and there will be the alternate, we have the dark and white patches will be there, and needle prismatic form is there, that will be arranged parallel. Cysto structure will be there, and quartz we can clearly recognize white color, no shining is there. Feldspar, rounded granulose one and having the vitreous luster, that will be there. So rock is a product of a high grade dynamo-thermal metamorphism of basic igneous rock. So here the heat and pressure, they both are very high. Yes. So at the bottom exactly where the temperature as well as pressure both are high, at this stage it is formed, so it is called as dynamo-thermal. It is thermal, but now heat is doubled as compared to 4 times, 5 times higher than what it is there. The heat is generated, so it is the dynamo-thermal metamorphism. That is the hornblende gneiss. You can see now 1 or 2 minerals will be available in that. Mica schist, only the mica is there, biotite is there. So in this cysto structure, and it contains brown to black color flakes, pearly luster, that is the biotite, and it is a product of low grade dynamo-thermal metamorphism of argillaceous. Is the low grade, where we have cystos is the low grade, whereas the gneissos, they are the high grade. Both are the dynamo-thermal metamorphism, but one is low and second one is high. Next one is the quartzite. Now reddish color you are going to get, that means ferruginous sandstone has gone under metamorphism, we are going to get the quartzite. The structure is a granulose. Each grain crystal which is there, it has its own boundary. Rock composed of quartz only 100% quartz grain. Rock formed by thermal metamorphism of pure sandstone. But now it is not a pure. When it is pure, we are going to say, then we are going to get a white marble, white quartzite. But now ferruginous sandstone has got under the metamorphism. We are going to get this reddish color one. Yes, that will be there. So this we have to add over here. This is the thermal metamorphism of the sandstone, not a pure ferruginous sandstone. It is a ferruginous one. Next one is the marble. Yes, white color, granulose, structure is there, saccharoidal one. The middle composition 100% it contains the calcite. Calcite grains are there, which are white and shining. This mineral specimen we have, it is a very good shining is there, and white color, and it is the thermal metamorphism of pure limestone. White limestone, you're going to get white marble. So that is the limestone has been metamorphosed. So whatever the representatives of from the igneous rock or metamorphic rock is that we have taken. And I hope you like this video. Have a nice day.